Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're talking all about essential makeup brushes. My favorite makeup brushes that I think that are necessary to have in your kit. So I'm going to talk about like face brushes, eyeshadow brushes, brushes for other things like highlight, contour and things like that. And these are just brushes that I have been using for a while, and you don't necessarily have to get these exact same brushes that I am talking about, but focus more on the shape of the brushes, and then I can recommend brands that you can check out. So let's get right into it. As always, please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you do like it. Definitely hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video from me, and do follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I do a lot of mini tutorials, tips and tricks and things like that on day. In fact, now I practically post a new tutorial every single day on Instagram. So let's start. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about face brushes, and within face brushes, I'm going to talk about foundation brushes. Now, the one foundation brush that I absolutely love, and I practically use it in every single video if I'm applying my foundation with the brush, is this Morphe M439 foundation brush. So that is what this brush looks like. As you can see, it is kind of a dome shaped brush. It's not exactly flat, but you can buff the foundation in very well with this brush. It is a mix of synthetic and natural hairs, and I think that's the reason that it really helps like buffing the foundation in. So I practically literally just pour my foundation onto the brush, and I just start to apply it, dot my face with it, and then just buff the foundation into my skin. This is a brush that I have used today to apply my foundation, and it just gives a very flawless finish. And I know for a fact that Pack Cosmetics has a very similar brush shape, very similar to this. I did own that brush, but I think I've lost it because I really can't find it anywhere. But I will link all of these brushes, all the details and everything that I'm talking about down in the description box, so definitely do check that out. So there are the brushes that can be used to apply foundation, and the one that is a makeup artist's favorite is this kind of a flat foundation brush. This one is by MAC. Actually, it's so old, even the number has kind of rubbed off, but this one is by MAC. The only thing with this brush I find is that it streaks the face a lot. I mean, I have tried to use this brush, but honestly it just never has worked for me. It always leaves my face in multiple streaks, and I don't like that. So this is a brush that I would not really recommend, but is definitely a face foundation brush. Face foundation. I wonder where else you'd apply foundation. Is a foundation brush. The third kind of foundation brush is a stippling brush, and this is what it looks like. Once again, it's a mixture of real and synthetic hairs, and it basically gives a really nice finish to the face. The way you apply this is basically the same concept as you would do with this buffing brush. You basically buff the foundation into your skin, you stipple the foundation into your skin, you buff it, whatever you want to call it. This particular stippling brush is from Real Techniques, and it's a really nice size. It's not too big, it's not too small as compared to this one, and it really helps kind of get into those corners of the face. Although I still prefer this shape of a brush as compared to this one when I do apply my foundation, but this is a great option as well. And finally, this isn't a brush, but since we're talking about makeup tools and foundation application, I love a beauty blender. I'm sorry this one's dirty, but I literally just use this to blend my concealer out, but I absolutely love using beauty blenders and makeup sponges basically to apply my foundation with. I think if you are in a hurry, or if you are new to the makeup game and you're not really used to using brushes, I think a beauty blender is life-changing, just because it really helps you blend that foundation into your skin. It really helps give you a nice finish, and I find that it kind of picks up products, especially if you use it semi-damp. It kind of picks up all the excess product that's on your skin, so you don't look super cakey and you're left with a really nice finish to your skin. And within makeup sponges, let me tell you that you get all of these different kinds. You get a lot of them at Forever 21, but trust me guys, do not spend your money on that. They are so hard. They're like hard as rocks no matter how much you dampen them, and they're not going to do the trick for you. The one I really like and is available in India is right here on my table, but I'm really scared to show it to you, but because it's super dirty, it's got powder and everything on it. It is the YBP Makeup Perfector sponge. I have gone through 3 of these. I'm on my 4th one. I'm just gonna show it to you, but please, I'm warning you, it is really dirty. So this is the one. This is in the color Lust. It is actually supposed to be completely black. This one that I showed you before that has this kind of a flat shape to it right here is from NYX Cosmetics, but I'm not sure if they've launched in India yet. Sticking to face brushes, but moving on to powder brushes, I recommend to have at least 1 or 2 of these in your kit. The first one being this large ass powder brush. This is what the brush looks like. It's just basically a really huge powder brush, and this one I got from Beauty Center in Bombay, and it is by the brand Vega. I believe it sells on Amazon as well. So this basically just helps in when you are really in a hurry, and if you want to just powder your entire face with compact powder, with loose powder, or anything of that sort. I think it just gives you a really quick powdering, and it really helps. This also helps to really apply less powder on your face as compared to smaller brushes that you would really need to apply and really like stick in there to put all that product on your face. The other brush that I like to powder my face with is this little brush that I got from Primark. I got this brush from Primark in UK, and as you can see, it's got 2 powder brush heads. This one's a smaller one and this one's like a bigger head. So basically this one is just to powder larger areas of your face, and the other side is to powder the smaller areas of your face, maybe under your eyes, etc. And I also kind of double up the smaller side as a blush brush because I really feel it like helps like get into that area really nicely. Next, moving on to blush brushes, I have 2 favorites, and the first one being this brush from Ignite. Now, I have always used this brush, and a lot of you have asked me where I got this brush from. It is basically this like, it's not a very fluffy brush like you can see, but the shape is absolutely perfect. So if you get this kind of a shape, the good part about it is you can kind of use this tip of the brush to pick up the blush on and apply it to your face because it gives a really nice blend. I just think it's like a perfect shape of a brush to apply blush with. At the same time, you can kind of, since it is not a very fluffy brush and it is quite tapered on this end, you can use it to kind of, you know, apply highlight to your nose, apply highlight to these areas if you pick it up just on the tips of the brush. Believe me guys, once you start using these brushes, you will kind of get into the groove of how to multitask with these brushes, because trust me, it is so many brushes can be used for so many things. I mean, it's seriously not even funny. The next brush that I have really started loving, it's actually a new one to my addition, is this one by Royal and Langnickel. That's a new company actually I came across very recently, and I bought their brush from IMATS that I had visited in Toronto. So this is what the brush looks like. It's basically a round tapered brush. So the reason I had bought this brush initially was to highlight, because I was looking for something like this, and it was actually a lot thinner when I had bought it, but now I think after 1 or 2 washes, this is what its shape has become. It's fluffed out a lot more. So I kind of started using this brush. As you can see, it's like bent to one end. So I use this part of the brush to apply blush to my face, and it cannot be more fitting. These bristles are so soft. I can't even tell you. It like really helps like get into this area right here. I also, because of its tapered shape, sometimes use this brush to powder under my eye. As you can see, it fits so perfectly under my eyes. So when I really want to powder my face, like basically a heavy application of a powder under my eyes, I kind of use this brush. I pick up the powder and I go ahead and apply it. And the thing is, because these bristles are so soft, I can apply as much pressure as I want and it's not gonna hurt me, as compared to this as compared to this Ignite brush, which is kind of hard, and every time it kind of, you know, pokes you. You know, sometimes you have those brushes that kind of poke you when you kind of apply it this way. Moving on, once again sticking to face brushes, but this time brushes for highlight and contouring. The first one I would like to talk about is the brush I use every single time when I highlight my face. You guys must have seen this in every single tutorial on Instagram or wherever. Once again, this brush is from Primark. I'm telling you guys, Primark has such amazing beauty stuff like you would not believe. Like, their brushes are really good quality. So that's basically the shape of this brush. Like you can see, it is a very small, like tapered brush and it is quite fluffy. Again, mix of synthetic and real hair. And just basically, if you see the shape, it is not a very big brush. It is the perfect size to kind of really get into that highlight area. You know, you could use the tip, you could use the side. I mean, it's just really nice. In fact, I use it all over my face, and it just sometimes even just picking it up on the tip and under my brows, and it works extremely well. So this is basically the only brush I use to highlight my face. I don't use absolutely anything else. I have no alternative for this brush. The next brush for contouring, and this I use for cream as well as powder contouring, is this brush. This brush is from Lorac Cosmetics. I got it with my powder contour palette that I picked up from them. It is a flat but still kind of a fluffy brush, and it is perfect to get under those cheekbones and kind of, you know, on the sides of your nose, just because of how flat and how thin it is. The other one that I use for cream contour, especially to blend out the cream contour, is this concealer buffer brush by Zoeva. Now Zoeva is another very reasonable, really nice brush brand. I think they're based in Sweden, but they do deliver internationally, which is how I got all of my Zoeva brushes. So this is basically the shape of this brush. It is basically a round brush, and it is a mix of synthetic and real hair. And as you can see, because of the shape and because of how tiny it is, I use it every single time without fail to kind of blend out my nose contour. It is super duper perfect to get into all of these real little areas. And if I have to kind of blend out my concealer in these small areas right here all over, this brush is absolutely perfect for it. Since we're talking about contour and highlight, I mainly use this for concealer, but I do use my concealers for highlighting as well, so it kind of ties in, is this other brush by Zoeva. It's basically literally the same shape of this brush, but a bigger version of it, and I cannot live without this brush. I absolutely freaking love it. It is the 110 face shape brush from Zoeva, and that right there, it is dirty right now, is the shape of this brush. Once again, it's a dome shaped brush. It is real and synthetic hair, and I use this for so many things I can't even tell you. The next few brushes I'm going to talk about are basically eyeshadow brushes, and they are very important blending brushes that I feel that everyone should have at least 2 of these in their kit. The first one is from MAC. It is the MAC 224 brush. As you can see, it is a tapered blending brush, but it is rather fluffy, so it's really nice to blend out your first transition shade. And this is another one that I practically use in every single one of my videos because it just sits so well into my crease. And even though it's a larger blending brush, it really helps kind of blend that first crease shade out, which is really what gives you the actual smoked out effect in any eye makeup that you do. The second one is this tapered blending brush by Sigma. It is the Sigma E25 brush, and as you can see, it is a really thin tapered blending brush, and I've had this brush for a very long time, and no matter how many ever times I wash it, this does not lose its shape. And out of every single brush brand that I have tried, this is the only brush that has done that. It is very high quality, and it has literally not budged from its shape, nor have the hairs gone bad at all, even though I wash it so many times. I use alcohol to clean it, so I definitely recommend getting Sigma if you're looking to spend a little bit more on your brushes. So the use of this brush is basically, since it is rather flat and it is a blending brush, it basically helps to apply shadows to the outer corners, inner corners, and then kind of blend them out. So basically more of a detailed blending brush as compared to the thicker MAC 224 brush, which is good for your crease transition shades. The next few brushes I'm going to talk about are basically eyeshadow detailing brushes. These are brushes that you want to have in your kit. Maybe not all of them, but at least 1 or 2 of them, and I'll tell you which ones I feel are the most essentials. These are just the ones that I absolutely love. The first one being this Luxe pencil brush from Zoeva. So this is actually a pencil brush, and it is, since it is tapered and has such a sharp point, it is really nice to kind of blend out under the eyes. So if you have smaller eyes and if you don't want a very smoked out blend, then this is something that you would use, as compared to another favorite pencil brush of mine, which is this one by Morphe brushes. Now this brush, as you can see, is a lot thinner than that Zoeva brush, but it is a rounded point. It doesn't have a very pointy edge to it. If you compare these two brushes, the Zoeva one is a lot more thinner and a lot more pointed as compared to the lower Morphe one, which has a more rounded edge. Now both of these are absolutely phenomenal when it comes to smoking out your kajal or your eyeshadow under your eye. It's just that with the Zoeva brush, which is more pointier, you get far more precision as compared to the Morphe brush, which is just basically to smoke out all over under the eyes. Now these three brushes that I want to talk about, once again just focus on the shape of the brushes. They are basically all three rounded brushes. One of them, the top one, is a lot more thinner, as you can see, and the other two are quite thick. They're just different shapes. This one's a lot smaller and this one's a little wider. So these three brushes are really nice for applying eyeshadow all over your eyes, whether you want to apply it just into the inner corner. And basically, like I mentioned, they're detailing brushes, so they're really nice to blend the two eyeshadow colors into one another and for more detailed eyeshadow things like that. These two are from Bdellium tools, again something that I came across at IMATS in Toronto. First time I have tried these brushes and they are very reasonable and extremely good quality. And this one is from Morphe. It is a Morphe 210 brush. The other one detail brush that I think it is absolutely essential to have in your kit is an angled brush, a small one and a thin one at that. My absolute favorite is this one by Morphe. You can do a lot of things with this angled brush. You can use it, this one specifically I use to fill in my brows because it's got a spoolie at the end as well, but you could also double down and use this brush to apply gel eyeliner under your eyes, over your eyes, wherever you apply gel eyeliner with. So this one I believe is a super duper important brush. What you could also do with this brush is basically, if you've applied lipstick, you could use this brush to clean out that lipstick with concealer and basically clean out the edges of your eyeliner as well. So that's it. Those were all of the brushes that I really like, and like I mentioned, in every category you should have at least one or two of these brushes in your kit. I hope this video helps you, and if you have any other questions regarding brushes or anything else, definitely do let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.